Good morning and welcome to this episode of Getting to Know Our Heavenly Family. Today I want to introduce you to a Franciscan saint, Rose of Viterbo. Rose was born at Viterbo around the year 1235 and died at the age of 18 in 1252. These are the most accepted dates for her life, though the records of the time were not precise and lead to some uncertainty on these facts. Born of poor and pious parents, Rose was remarkable for holiness and for her miraculous powers from her earliest years. When but 3 years old, she raised to life her maternal aunt. At the age of 7, she had already lived the life of a recluse, residing in an enclosed room in her home, called a cell in monastic terms, devoting herself to penances. Because of the harsh penances she undertook, her health was greatly weakened. The Blessed Virgin appeared to her, cured her of her ailments, and ordered Rose to enroll herself in the third order of St. Francis and to preach penance to Viterbo. The city at that time was held by Emperor Frederick II of Germany, who was oppressing the Church. Rose's mission of penance and faithfulness to the true Pope threatened the imperial party. After failing in the attempt to silence her, the prefect of the city finally banished her and her family in 1250. They took refuge in Soriano. On December 5th, 1250, Rose foretold the speedy death of the emperor, a prophecy realized on the 13th of December. Soon afterwards, she went to Viterbo, whose inhabitants had been perverted by a famous sorceress. Rose secured the conversion of all, even of the sorceress, by standing unscathed for 3 hours in the flames of a burning pyre. Following the death of Frederick II, and with the restoration of the papal power in Viterbo in 1251, Rose returned to her home. Once again in Viterbo, Rose asked to enter the monastery of St. Mary of the Roses, but was refused because of her poverty. She humbly submitted, foretelling her admission to the monastery after her death. The remainder of her life was spent in the cell in her father's house, where she died 1 year later. After her death, Rose appeared to Pope Alexander IV, instructing him to have her body moved. When she was exhumed, her body was found to be incorrupt. She was moved to the chapel at the monastery of St. Mary of the Roses, thus fulfilling what she prophesied, that the convent would accept her after her death. The process of her canonization was opened in that year by Innocent IV, but was not definitively undertaken until 1457. Her feast is celebrated on the 4th of September, when her body, still incorrupt, is carried in procession through Viterbo. St. Rose was only 18 when she died. She did not live an extravagant life, but all that she did was solely for the glory of God. I try to imagine Rose's experience of all that she underwent, but I also try to imagine what her parents thought and felt. Were they among those who ridiculed Rose for her extreme penance? Did they threaten her when she spoke out against the emperor? Did they blame her when they were expelled from Viterbo? May you all have zeal for the Lord, deep gratitude for all that he has done for you, especially for the gift of his Son on the cross and salvation for all souls, and patience in all of your trials, whether they stem from your own actions, from the decisions of others, or from, quotes, coincidences of nature. St. Rose of Viterbo, pray for us.